Hello, how's it going? The question comes up often, where did Cain get his wife from, since there were no other people at that time? The scripture says in Genesis 4:17, Cain had relations with his wife and she conceived and gave birth to Enoch. So the options for where Cain got his wife from are really just two. Other people groups outside of Adam and Eve were alive at that time when Adam and Eve were in the garden or after the garden, or one of Adam and Eve's daughters, or a daughter of someone within their family line, is where Cain got his wife from. So what are the evidences for other people groups outside of Adam and Eve? In verse 14, Cain says that whoever finds him will kill him, and that seems to suggest that he will immediately be found by other people once he's outside of God's presence. And then in verse 15, God placed a mark on Cain immediately, which may suggest that Cain needed immediate protection from other people. Well, if you're not convinced by that, there's evidence on the other side as well. The evidence for Cain's wife being one of his sisters or female offspring stemming from Adam and Eve are this. Large gaps of time between events are present in Genesis 1 through 11. And some examples are these. Chapter 4, verses 1 and 2. Adam has relations with Eve, his wife, who gets pregnant and gives birth to Cain and then Abel. And all this takes 9 months, but right after that, immediately, they're already in the field raising flocks and planting things, like that. So they're already grown up. So immediately after pregnancy and birth, they're already working many years later. So you see a gap there. More striking, in 4:17, Cain and his wife have a baby and they name him Enoch, and then Cain builds a city right after that. It's all in one breath, which means there's definitely gaps in the story of Genesis, which allows for things to happen over the course of time. We can conclude that large gaps of time may have occurred in which the earth was populated by Adam and Eve and Cain married one of his sisters or another of the female offspring based on evidence like this, I think. The strongest evidence for Cain marrying one of his sisters or another female born through Adam and Eve is the fact that all living humans are said to have come through Adam and Eve. Adam was the first man and Eve was the first woman, according to Genesis 1:26 through 28. And then it says that Eve is the mother of all human life, mother of all living, according to Genesis 3:20. If Adam and Eve are the parents of all humans and all life comes from Eve, then there's nobody else out there in any other people groups. It's just Adam and Eve and whoever's born to them. There were no other males born to Adam and Eve yet. And we know this because once Cain kills Abel, God ensures that Eve gives birth to another male, Seth, so that humanity can continue and that the promise of the seed that God promised will flow on as well. Without Seth, everything seems to stop in the story. So I think it's safe to say that Cain had to have married one of his sisters, either directly from Adam and Eve, or after Adam and Eve had other boys and girls, he married one of them further on down the line, one of their children. All right, have a good day.